Hi everyone, today we're gonna do something really fun, and I obviously do it on myself because I am the model today. And it is an eyebrow tutorial, so I'm gonna show you everything from dyeing your eyebrows to trimming your eyebrows and then also shaping your eyebrows at the end. So hopefully if you want to cut some time off of your morning routine, or you just want to learn how to do your eyebrows a little bit better, then this could be a good tutorial for you. Sorry, there's eyebrow dye on everything. Oh, also, I'm going to timestamp the video, so if you're like, I'm not dyeing my eyebrows, don't need to do that, you can skip ahead to the trimming, or you could skip ahead to the filling in. So that little feature is there for you. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is dye the eyebrows. You can go to a professional to have this done, or you can do it from home if you're brave. If you can get your hands on professional stuff, then I would recommend that. And the whole thing with dyeing your eyebrows is just make sure that you keep the dye in the area that you want your eyebrows to be. So you wouldn't want to dye like all the way up here, for example, unless you were trying to have like ginormous eyebrows, because the little hairs on your face will dye, and yeah, you just don't want to extend that eyebrow where you don't want it to be. I'm going to be using a brand that's called Intensive, and it's for professional use only. So if you can get your hands on a professional brand, it's better, safer for your brows. And the color that I'm using is just called Brown. So what I'll do is, in a little dappen dish, I'll just apply a small amount. I don't know if you can even see it right there. Really small. And then, since it's a dye, you have to have processing solution. So for this particular brand, it's equal parts. So I'll just do like maybe 2 drops there. And then I'll use my little spatula and just kind of blend it together. All mixed up. This is a painter's brush, but you can buy eyebrow brushes, but I just found that they're a little bit cheaper and easier to clean too. Alright, so I will start to apply this onto my brows. And also for me, I need to do a little bit of correction. So I'm gonna put the dye in places that I would usually fill in my eyebrow. There's side 1. And I'm not lobbing a lot of this on, but I am putting on a decent amount here. With eyebrows, you always want to remember that they're sisters, not twins. So don't freak out that they're not exactly the same, but just do your best to get them as closely painted as possible. Now, if you have some longer eyebrow hairs, you just kind of, I mean, you don't want to paste it onto your face because, like I said, you can end up dyeing hairs that you don't want to dye. Now, I will set the timer. Since my hair is not really that dark, I'm only gonna set it for 6 minutes. Sometimes as it's changing, I'll kind of watch it, and if I need to add a little bit more dye somewhere, I'll do that. But yeah, they're gonna start getting dark and freaky, so I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, so they're done processing. You might feel kind of freaked out because they're really dark, but don't worry, they lighten up, and they lighten up with time. So if you did go too dark, it's gonna be okay. Is use a little bit of shampoo. Not too much like I just did. Wow. Okay, so I just have a little bit of it on my fingers and I'll just kind of rub it in. I usually do this at the sink, so this is new for me. But you want to work that shampoo into the brow. You don't want to scrub too hard, but you want all the like slimy feeling to go away. Okay, and then rinse your face. So you can use a washcloth if you have a dark one or one that you don't care about. I'm just gonna use a paper towel here. Wipe this away. The other thing too is if you have any dry skin, the dye will stick to that, so just be wary. Alright, so that's what a little bit of eyebrow dye can do, and as you can tell, already way better. And if you know anything about me, the less that I have to do, the better. So if that means not filling in my eyebrows, I'm probably for it. So step 2 is shaping your eyebrows. Let's go over some general rules. Rule number 1, you want to make sure that your eyebrows are at a 90-degree angle from the inside corner of your eye. If you have wider set eyes, you can allow your eyebrows to come in a little bit more, and that's going to give you an illusion that your eyes are a little bit closer together, which is something that you need. And then if your eyes are too close, you really just want to get that, I mean, you don't want to go past, but you really want to be on point with the 90-degree angle if your eyes are closer together. But otherwise, if you just have normal eyes or regular eyes or whatever you want to call it, same rule applies, 90 degree. So I'm going to use my Tweezerman tweezers here and just clean up my eyebrows. So mine are pretty good, but there's a couple little hairs that can go. And then the other thing that you want to pay attention to or be careful about, and I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but if you over pluck your eyebrows, there's a certain point where this line starts to show, and that's a good indication that you've over plucked your eyebrows. So maybe I'll insert a little picture of my terrible eyebrows back in the day, and it took me a long time to grow them out, but they did. Also, if you're having trouble growing out your eyebrows, you could try Revita Brow, because Revita Lash works really well, and I'm sure Revita Brow would do just as well. Got an eyelash there in my nose, so I'm gonna take a few hairs from the bottom, just because my eyes are kind of round and I'm trying to do more of a boyfriend shape, but I don't want them to be permanently boyfriend because I might want to do an arch some days. So I'm not going to take too many hairs out, but just a couple here. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to do for my eyebrows is I'm going to brush them up. I do kind of like having bushier looking eyebrows, but there's a couple hairs that are much longer than I would prefer. So, and just kind of go in. Now, as I said, I'm trying to do a straighter eyebrow, so you want to make sure that if you are going to trim your eyebrows, to follow the line that you want, because I'm not going to angle it this way because that's going to give me a round brow, and that's what I'm trying to get away from. So just want to make sure that I go straight and trim it in. So they already look pretty dang good, and that's without any makeup and just trimming them and dyeing them. But for completeness sake, let's fill them in. I'm gonna use MAC's eyebrow gel. Mine's really dirty, so don't look at it. But I'm just gonna shape my eyebrows here. And another good rule of thumb is your eyebrows should go up, 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 and then once they start getting to the arch, then it's kind of like down. Since I'm not doing much of an arch, I'm just doing kind of like a 45 up at that part. And then I'll do the same thing over here. Oh, and I forgot too, but my eyebrows don't need it, but you just want to check to make sure that it's a 45 from the outside corner of your eye, not longer than that. That means you'd need to trim it, and not shorter than that. That means that you need to fill it in. So I'm going to be using a dark shade from Inglot here, and again, the less work that I have to do, the better. So I only use one eyebrow shade for myself personally. You can do what you want to do. With the angled brush here, you'll want to line the bottom part of your brow first. Since my eyebrows have been darkened from the dye, I don't really need to do a lot. It's more of a correction versus like a complete shaping. I'm just gonna do that straight line there, and a little bit right there. And of course you want to fill them in according to the shape that you're going for. I told you I'm trying to do more of a boyfriend eyebrow that's a little bit straighter. So that's what I'm doing. And then you can see the correction for this eyebrow. I have a natural arch here, so I'm just gonna cut that off. Well, not cut it off, but create the illusion. And then I either go in with like a pointed brush, a clean one, and just kind of dust it in, or you also could use a spoolie. And it just kind of softens it a little bit. All right. So that's some quick brows for you. I didn't use very many products, obviously, just one and the eyebrow gel. And I might not even have to fill in my eyebrows some days if I don't feel like it. So that's a win-win. And I probably dye my eyebrows, I don't know, maybe once every 3 months or more. It just depends on how lazy I am. But the benefit of it is that you don't have to fill in your eyebrows if you don't want to, or I mean, it did just make it way more simple to fill them in. I didn't have to do as much work or sculpting, and they look great. And of course, you're gonna look good at the beach or places where you probably don't wear makeup, or you know, just when you wake up in the morning. So I hope that you enjoyed this eyebrow tutorial.